I'm Hazel, it's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, Blizzard has helpfully put out a post detailing exactly what is going away with the Dragonflight prepatch, the Dragonflight launch, and a couple of things that are getting harder. Note that as of recording this at least, which happens to be a little late on Friday night, there is still no official release date for prepatch or for Dragonflight. We have rumors, we have speculations, we have leaks, we have no official dates yet. However, having this post out is a good indicator that maybe they might tell us soon when they're planning on having prepatch and Dragonflight release. With that said, I'll recap the post. They say with Dragonflight prepatch, that means your time is up for the Restoration Deathwalker Keystone Master mount, Dungeon Portals for timing plus 20s, and the Elite PvP rewards such as Gladiator mounts, the Weapon Illusions, and the Elite PvP armor sets. So these are the things that will be going away first with the Dragonflight prepatch. Again, we don't know exactly when that is, but odds are good it's somewhere in the 2 to 4 week range before Dragonflight launch, hopefully closer to 4 than 2, and Dragonflight launch happening sometime before the end of this year. Later on, with the actual launch of Dragonflight, that is when the time runs out for the Slimecat mount, the Ahead of the Curve Robocrab, and the Heroic and Mythic Rygolon achievement, which doesn't seem to give you anything aside from the achievement, but for achievement hunters there is that. And the biggest surprise from this post is that with Dragonflight launch, the Veil Strider title and Back from the Beyond achievement will also become unobtainable. Those things need to be done within Shadowlands. That is a Shadowlands meta achievement that requires all kinds of stuff, including Torghast, the Maw, Covenant activities, more, and some of it has time gates. Specifically, Shadowlands Dilettante needs a bare minimum of 4 weeks just to invite everybody to your Ember Court if you've never had an Ember Court before, and then you have to do a variety of things with like A-bomb stitching, you gotta clear some Path of Ascension trials. There's a lot to do, and the sooner you start it, the better if this is something that you want before Dragonflight, because there's no getting it after. Time's ticking. That will become unobtainable with the Dragonflight launch, so you can still keep working on it even once prepatches come out, but once Dragonflight officially releases, you are out of time for Back from the Beyond and the Veil Strider title. Other news this week, in Dragonflight, we now know there is in fact going to be a shapeshift Soulshape toy. It is called the Seed of Renewed Souls, and in Dragonflight, you'll be able to talk to Lady Mun in the Heart of the Forest to get this Seed of Renewed Souls toy. It's going to let you cosmetically shift into your current soul shape for a 10-minute duration on a 5-minute cooldown, so you could keep it up all the time. However, doing anything combat-y is going to take you out of it, and of course it does not come with a sprint, it does not come with a blink, it's just cosmetically shifting into the form. But this is still a really nice thing for them to add, especially for people that have invested a lot of time into collecting and farming all of these different soul shapes. Now you'll be able to take advantage of them with the toy, even once we've said goodbye to soul shape. You will still need to go back to the Heart of the Forest if you would like to change your currently active soul shape or critter shape though, so keep that in mind. Other Dragonflight beta news, Rated Solo Shuffle is testing this week, and this is a good time to highlight that Rated Solo Shuffle is coming in Dragonflight. If you've been familiar with regular Solo Shuffle that we have in Shadowlands right now, Rated is like that, except that you're going to be able to earn seasonal rewards, achievements, Vicious Mount credit, weekly vault progress, and conquest. It is the exact same format as Solo Shuffle on Live, so if you have not tried that, it's a reasonable way to dip your toes into the arena. And in Dragonflight, there's a rated version that has a rating tracked for each spec of your character, so you're going to have a separate rating for each spec, and you can work on that on your own at your leisure in Rated Solo Shuffle. So look, you finally happened. Fancy that. My understanding is that rating is still independent from your PvP rating, but most people just really want to be able to work on vicious mounts while doing Solo Shuffle, so this is great news. And then in my life this week, I took myself outside to a field, like a local park, with my fly casting rod to do some practicing of my fly casting because it is a hot mess. Did I tell you I got a fly fishing rod? I got a fly fishing rod for my birthday. I can't remember if we've had this conversation yet. But I will say that after an hour or two of embarrassing myself and looking a fool in public, I am getting better. But it was a pretty low bar to start with. I will trust it once I've actually taken it back to a body of water and successfully fooled a fish, I suppose. And then in WoW, I have been cleaning up my last little bits of collecting that I plan to do for Shadowlands, which means all of the pets and some of the mounts. I still need one more Necro-Ray egg, but I'm only 2 pets away from having every Shadowlands pet. I had the Larian Pouncer Cub drop for me this morning, Friday on stream. So I just need the Crimson Dreadwing pup from the Revendreth bats, and I am farming those manually. I would love to see it drop. I'm 1,600 something kills in. And then once I get that, I really have no more excuses to put off Family Exorcist, because I never did that and I should. And questions for this week, Aaron Scuto wants to know, has there been any word on if and when regular flying mounts will be able to fly in the Dragon Isles? So at least at first, like in our first patch, the answer is no, and they've been very non-committal about whether or not that will change down the road. It seems very much like it's a wait and see thing, and I don't think that the devs know yet. The thing is that dragon riding is faster and arguably more fun than regular flying, but regular flying is in some ways more powerful because it lets you idle, it is unlimited in the height and distance that you can travel, and it's more precise. So if and when they do add it in, it kind of depreciates some aspects of dragon riding, like there's stuff in the Dragon Isles that you're only going to be able to get to with an advanced dragon riding tree, or like if you're really good at managing your dragon riding vigors. So adding flying is something that I could see them maybe doing in a later patch after everybody's had a good crack at that. But they're still being very cagey about whether or not that's actually going to happen, and I feel like we'll find out in some dev update a patch or two into the expansion. Damius wants to know, do we have any info on whether the Great Vault system will continue into Dragonflight, and if so, will there be a new vault, or will we need to return to Oribos? So there is going to be some kind of a weekly chest or vault system. The Dragonflight rated solo shuffle post that we looked at earlier specifically referred to earning vault rewards from rated solo shuffle, which is a feature that's coming in Dragonflight. So there's going to be a vault. It is most likely going to be in Veldrack, and I haven't found it personally, but it would be very surprising to me if we were going all the way back to the afterlife to get our weekly rewards. So there's probably a box in Veldrack somewhere, some dragon hoard that we can just like pick little goodies out of once a week, depending on what we did. And then Danny wants to know, for the profession gear, how does it work if you have more than one profession that you want to have gear for? Can you equip it all? Will it automatically change, or do you need to have multiple sets in your bag? So prof gear gets equipped directly to the individual profession pane. Like you'll have a journal for all of your professions, including things like fishing, and you can equip your tool and then 2 accessories directly to that pane there. I did not have any profession equipment to actually test that with, so I don't know if it remains in your bags or if it's more like a mount equipment thing. I am hoping it's more like a mount equipment thing where you just socket it into that page, and then the visual aspect of it should activate when you're doing the activity in question, but the equip slots do not compete with each other between professions because they're each tied to their own profession window. Yeah. And then Phil asks, what should we be doing with our Cosmic Flux, Anima Ciphers, catalog research, etc.? Whatever you want, doesn't really matter much anymore. They're basically defunct currencies. Spend at will, especially if there's any like cosmetics or collectibles, although some of them like catalog research and Flux are pretty dead. No, that's not true. You can use Flux to catalyze items for new transmog that you haven't collected yet. I should do that. I personally am going to be rounding up all of my anima and kind of figuring out where my grateful offerings are and going on a transmog shopping spree at the end of the expansion to kind of collect as much of the Covenant transmog as I can afford. They're almost certainly not going to add anything new to purchase with those currencies at this point, so basically cosmetics if they're available, and otherwise don't worry about it. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions you would like answered in a news video, please pop them in the comments and include the word question to help me find them. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.